Right, guys. Welcome back to another Star Wars with the Boys. Why is that unlisted?
Not sure.
It says anyone.
That's customization. Go to details. So why is this?
Interesting. Alright, there we go.
I don't normally stream myself, but
Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Star Wars with the Boys. We live. Not a whole lot to talk about this week. We got some small things here and there. I guess we'll hit Marvel first before we go to Star Wars. I thought it was funny, but it's worth mentioning. The Disney Plus banner, right? When you go to Disney Plus and you go to the Marvel, they all have different banners. The Marvel one, they got rid of She-Hulk and put in Deadpool. And at first glance, you're like, oh, so what? Well, there's older characters on there, right? So you would think they'd get rid of the oldest character. No, they got rid of the most unpopular character. And I just think that's showing. I think that's good news. Obviously, Deadpool and Wolverine has probably been the most successful Marvel thing they've put out in the last 3 years. So it's obviously the right move. It's just those little things, right, that you don't realize that the PR does, that make headway with community relations. So it's not that big of news, but I just thought it was interesting. They replaced She-Hulk with Deadpool. She-Hulk was, for the most part, regarded as just not good, not liked, not enjoyed by the community. There's obviously outliers. Some people enjoyed it, but for the most part, people didn't. And then it's interesting because then there were reports immediately after. Now I'm 24 hours after the fact reporting, so things could have changed. I haven't been on top of the community rumors and stuff, but there were some rumors that Marvel was looking at hiring Rachel Ziegler for a Marvel role, it's going to be interesting to see if that's an actual rumor. Now, at first glance, you'd be like, oh, that's just, Marvel hires all kinds of people. But Rachel Ziegler is, an outspoken feminist, right? Most recently, a lot of her comments made about Bob Iger during the strikes, Trump during this election. In fact, she actually publicly came out and apologized to supporters, right? Which I think her PR team probably kind of forced her hand because some of the things she was saying was pretty nasty. And then just a lot of this stuff for the build-up of Snow White. That's her new big project coming out 2025. So she's already with Disney, Disney in general. So I wouldn't be that far off for Marvel to go grab her. It'd just be interesting to see Marvel, they're trying to step away from a lot of that activist stuff. It just seems like, right? I don't know. Hopefully it's not real. I'm sick of, I don't really know why this whole thing started. I don't know what movie or show gave these executives, these suits, the idea that when people watch movies and shows, we want politics, we want activism, we want a message beneath the message is what we want. I don't know what started that, but I'm so sick and tired of it. I just like watching cool stuff, you know what I mean? That's something that I enjoyed about Ahsoka. I watched Ahsoka with primarily female leads and didn't feel like they were trying to push some sort of feminism story arc, right? I felt like they were just pushing a good story based off of Ahsoka, There were plenty of cool male characters in there as well, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of things from recent that they do and don't, where they're seeming to push some sort of activist thing, right? And I'm just so sick of that. I don't know. I just can't wait for Star Wars to move on, because it seems like Star Wars is still kind of in that rut, but Marvel seemingly is kind of moving on from that. I don't know. I'm just hoping they move on from it.
yeah, I mean, in my opinion, actors, you want good actors. I don't care about any other political affiliations. pretty much at all. And when they bring that into a TV show or a movie or something I'm excited about, it just takes it away from me for a little bit. I mean, you're going there to watch a movie that you know is made up. All of Star Wars is made up. You don't want anything coming from real life going into the movie at all, honestly. I want them to be completely separate. I want a good actor. If it's a villain, I want to hate them because they're such a good actor doing what they're doing. And if it's a good character, I mean, all I want is acting. I don't really think that politics should be put into this.
It's not usually the acting. That it's usually the producer or the writer or the director. You know, like I don't think Anthony Mackie in Winter Soldier and Falcon, that whole "you need to be better" syndrome. I don't think that was him pushing that. I think that was a lot of the time in the political sphere where the world was, and just kind of where Disney thought they needed to go. I don't think that was Anthony Mackie saying,
Yeah.
And that's usually how those things usually go. Rachel Ziegler was very outspoken, but maybe Snow White's really fun. Maybe it's really cool. But track records have shown people who are usually really outspoken and are these big activists, usually there's some underlying message they're trying to shove in your face in this movie or this show. That just usually seems to be the track record of these kind of things. It's not always, I thought Agatha was okay, and there was a lot of, activists kind of behind the scenes with some of the actresses and directors. But, you look at something like Acolyte, and that was very obviously, there's a lot of agendas kind of being pushed with that. So, the point I'm trying to get is I'm just sick of that, and Marvel just, one was a rumor, but one thing Marvel actually did, they took off She-Hulk, which was a big thing that people don't like, but it stemmed from a lot of, agenda shoving and activism that they were trying to shove with, female-centric and putting down males. At least that's a lot of vibes that fans got from it. And it didn't go over well, right? And Deadpool and Wolverine was, the total opposite. It was just bull crap, having fun, recklessness, and that's all that film was, right? And that's what fans draw to. And it seems like Marvel is getting it for the most part, but this Rachel Ziegler rumor is just interesting. I wonder if it's just that in itself is just a rumor, or it's something that Marvel is trying to do. Maybe they're trying to do something to kind of help her, right? She's obviously not having the greatest stretch of PR of recent, so maybe they're like, okay, put her in a Marvel project, make it awesome. Maybe fans will kind of forget some of the things she was saying. That's also possible, right? I'm not going to say that's not possible. That's really it for Marvel. There's not much else. I gotta say, I'm excited for Fantastic Four. There's lots of little rumors about some of the plot stuff. I don't really want to leak any of the plot stuff on here, just because I don't know. I feel like sometimes that hurts me, where I get super excited for stuff and then I watch it and it's never usually as great as I thought it would be. Right? At least not recent. So the stuff like Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts and the new Captain America, I'm going to get excited about. I'm going to watch, listen to rumor and plot leak stuff, but I'm not going to try to cover it too much just because I don't want to do the same thing for others. So that's really it for Marvel. Star Wars, not much else. There is some scheduling stuff that kind of came out that I think is actually pretty good news. The first thing is Vision Season 3 did get confirmed for next year, 2025. A bunch of new studios, Japanese studios, which is cool. I've never liked Visions. I've watched the half of season 1. I watched the first 4 episodes or something like that of season 1, and that was it. It's just not my thing. I'm not a big anime art style kind of guy. On top of you changing the art for everything, and on top of a lot of the stuff. I mean, some of it was cool. The Ronin, the first episode of season 1 was pretty cool, I thought, but some of it was just goofy. I don't know. I feel like it'd be more interesting if they made it into a comic line, or I don't know. Anyways, Vision Season 3. Some people love it. It's a fun watch. It's nothing I'm super excited about, but if you are, you have that to look forward to next year. And then Ahsoka Season 2 did get confirmed. They're going to go into shooting next year, which I think is super good, because it seems like Dave Filoni's plate is filling up quick, especially with the Mando and Grogu movie, and supposedly he still has the Heir of the Empire movie and Ahsoka Season 2. So I think it's probably good they're still working on Ahsoka and they're planning on shooting. It means they've probably come together with maybe not quite complete, but mostly complete script and story. And that's good. Because I thought Ahsoka Season 1 was pretty good. I thought it landed on every front except for the ending. But when you get to Season 2, the ending's a lot more forgivable, in my opinion. So I think that's great news for Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm excited about that Ahsoka Season 2 being confirmed. I mean, that's just good all around. I loved Season 1, and the only thing that I really think it didn't get the crazy great viewership because the other series that Disney Plus was putting out wasn't doing great. They weren't great series that they were coming out with them. Like, people getting hyped up for Boba Fett and then watching it and it not being this amazing hype thing that everyone all hoped it was probably made a lot of viewers not watch Ahsoka, at least not when it came out immediately. But I think, despite the viewership, I think it was a pretty good series. I mean, I'm excited for Season 2. They left on a huge cliffhanger, so I mean, Season 2 had to be coming, and I hope sooner than later. This is good news all around.
Yeah. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was Skeleton Crew is obviously coming out the end of, well, technically the beginning of December, but, end of this month. So, like 2 weeks away now. And I don't think the main consensus is no one's super excited about it, but I think a lot of people are willing to try it out just because it's Star Wars, right? And you never know. Star Wars had some hits and miss for sure over the last couple of years, but they still have some random hits, right? Ahsoka was still pretty good, right? It wasn't great, but it was pretty good all around, right? Parts of Kenobi, I think people forget how good they were. Overall, the show wasn't that great, but there were some gold nuggets in that show for sure. So Skeleton Crew's coming out, and I think something that maybe it was hit on before, but I don't think it was really dug in. They kind of put out a different director for each individual episode, which I feel like they've done before. I can't remember what the last project was that they did that. I think it was Mandalorian Season 3, potentially. I don't remember. They've done it before where they've had multiple directors for multiple different episodes. I don't remember having multiple or a different director for every episode. It can be interesting to see. I don't know. I don't usually like that because, not every director's vision is the same as every other director, right? The writer can only put so much in. The directors they do have their own vision, right? And how they read what the writers want. So, I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see how congruent this really is with this many different directors. Maybe it doesn't have that much of a spin on it, but maybe it has a big impact on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad they're trying out with Skeleton Crew because it's not something I'm really crazy excited for. It's not going to affect the main plot as far as I'm aware so far. I mean, of course, it'll have some effect on things, but it's not like Obi-Wan Kenobi where I'm super excited for one favorite character. It's a cool show that might be great, might be good. Who knows?
Yeah. So that's really it for this week. There's not much else to talk about. Lego Marvel December 1st, they're releasing some new Captain America sets, Captain America Sabra and versus the Red Hulk, and then like a Captain America figure, like one of the buildable figures. So if you care about Lego Marvel, look out for that. Otherwise, that's really it for this week's stream. Not much else to talk about. Anything else you wanted to say, Athen?
I think that's about it.
All right, with that, we hope you guys did enjoy this. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you guys are listening on podcast. We appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that follow and download. We'll be back here again same time next week, Thursday, 6 p.m. ish, and we'll see you guys then.
Peace.